What's up, everybody? Welcome in another edition of From the Press Box with Neely, coming to you live from Pulaski Citizen Headquarters. So good to be with you guys as we continue to roll right along the month of September. This is our final episode in the month of September. October, spooky season right around the corner. Big show today, lots to get into. We are going to talk a lot of golf on this show as we caught up, had a great session out at Hillcrest Country Club where we talked to Giles County Bobcats head coach Chris Phelps. We talked to seniors Ethan Sumners and Mallory Carden. It's a big show, all of that to dive right into. Speaking of diving in, let's just go ahead and get right in, folks. We'll be condensed on the front and back ends as we got a lot of great time with our golfers this week. Big week on the gridiron for Giles County and Richland, 45-18. The Bobcats take it over Lincoln County to pick up their second straight win in the Elk River rivalry. Kareem Bryant setting the tone early with a block punt, and then the junior hauled in 3 touchdown passes. Had a great all-around game. His game probably best as a Bobcat. Johnny Jackson and Kamari Turner also had great performances. Don't look now, but Giles County now above 500. Kind of like a lot of folks had thought behind the scenes, may take a loss or two early in the season, but they're kind of finding their stride. Meanwhile, up in Linville, big win for the Raiders as they snap a 2-game skid, going on the road and knocking off Huntland. Yes, Huntland had not won a game, but you got to win the games in region if you want to keep your playoff chances alive, and Richland did just that, 18-14. Both of those games, by the way, are broadcast every Friday night on Pulaski Citizen Live. And if you missed the game and want to go back and listen to it, I encourage you to go back and check out the call from Huntland as Mark Mize and Jennifer Hawkins breaking it down. Luke Eastlick holding down the fort. He's had a couple of really nice games to start this season for Richland, and he had a couple of nice big scoring plays for the Raiders in their win on Friday at Huntland. More on them in our close. A couple other shout-outs we want to get into. Giles County Soccer. Lady Bobcats in a bit of a funk right now. They've lost 3 of 4, including another loss to Columbia earlier this week. But losses to Columbia twice and then Tullahoma. They're playing some really high-powered teams down the stretch here to try and get ready for the postseason. They are set to take on Lawrence County. Depending on when you're watching this, that game is going to be played on Thursday night. So we'll keep tabs on the Lady Bobcats as they wind down their regular season. The Lady Raiders, they were supposed to play Cornersville on Tuesday night. Game was moved over to Thursday. So again, depending on when you're watching, you can find out the Lady Raiders soccer action as they close out their district and regular season with a showdown versus their rivals up in Cornersville. UT Southern, we interviewed head coach Will Austin last week, and he told us it was going to be a tough road swing for both of the programs, and especially the ladies. They do fall to number 1 William Carey. The score was 3-2. I was keeping up with the live stats last Thursday. It was actually 2-2. Game on with about 20 minutes left. Nip and tuck contest, but ultimately William Carey proves they are the number 1 team in the country for a reason. They win it 3-2. Ladies follow up with a nice win on the road at Mobile. Tidy 4-0 victory. And so a split, not the worst result, I think, coming out of that one for the Firehawks. On the men's side, 2 tough matchups as was the case for the ladies. Men fall to William Carey in a hard-fought contest. I think 3-1 your final in that Thursday night showdown. And then they were blanked, unfortunately, by Mobile. 3-0 your final on Saturday. Coach Bolin and the Firehawks trying to get things rolling Thursday night. Big soccer night Thursday night, folks, as they also are in action. Both of those teams hosting Point University. First soccer doubleheader of the season at Grissom Pitch. Other UT news and notes. Volleyball. They suffered a 3-0 loss to Mobile last Friday night, but they bounced back with a nice win on Saturday versus Stillman. First-year head coach and a Columbia, Tennessee native, Miss Janae Yancey, has the Firehawks sitting at 9-7 on the year, and they're trying to find their stride. A 2-3 record in conference play, but they're kind of just getting underway in an awfully tough league. Other shout-outs. I want to make sure I get these right. We're going to bring in our screen here as Layla Hopwood, Adelie Nelson, Taylor Fox, and Bria Crocker, hopefully I got all those right, all getting medals. And a shout out to the Richland Middle School cross-country team. Coach Stout's been keeping us up to date on the men and women's squads there at Richland Middle School. Thank you, Jennifer, for all of that. Colin Orr, Sawyer Reynolds, Mason Blaylock, and Denton Davis all getting medals in their final meet of the regular season. Hopwood is going to represent Richland Middle at the state tournament this weekend in Clarksville. Best of luck to Layla Hopwood. And again, thank you to Jennifer and the Raiders for getting us all of that information on the cross-country squads. Speaking of running, the Giles County Fraternal Order of Police FOP Spooky Run is set for Saturday, October 21st. Shout out to my guy and Sheriff Kyle Helton. This is always a fun event. I'll be out there on the 21st. We always have a great time. $25 will get you your race bib. All that money going toward their charitable contribution toward kids getting Christmas toys. They combine a couple of fundraisers, and it's a great event. Weather should be fantastic, but again, that's set for Saturday, October 21st. See Kyle Helton or see the folks at the Sheriff Department if you're looking for more information on that FOP run. Real quickly, not a great week for your boy in Fearless Forecasters. I went 8-8. Scott Stewart, our publisher, says that's Jeff Fisher territory, and we see how that turns out for Jeff Fisher. And so 8-8, I'm not proud of it. But I got to give a shout out to our buddy Eddie Williams. He was this week's big winner. He missed 4 games and won on the tiebreaker. He got a $50 gift card to Lucille's Bar and Grill. And this week, we're giving away $50 to Soda Pop Junction. And so speaking of Soda Pop Junction and speaking of the Phelps family, on the other side of this timeout, we'll dive right into our segments. Again, we're chatting with Ethan Sumners, Mallory Carden, and Chris Phelps, who is the Bobcat and Lady Bobcat golf head coach. All of that coming your way in just a matter of moments, and then we'll close it out, as always, with the big finish. But now, a quick break here on this episode of From the Press Box.
For over 50 years, PES Energize has been proudly powering our community in Pulaski and Giles County, Tennessee. We're more than just an electric utility. We also offer internet, TV, and phone services. Our commitment to our customers and our community is what sets us apart. We're dedicated to providing safe, reliable, and innovative services. At PES Energize, we believe that serving you is a privilege. We're here for all your energy needs. Visit PESEnergize.com or call us today.
Welcome back in. We're coming to you from Hillcrest Country Club, catching up with the latest in high school golf, and joined now by Bobcat Senior, Mr. Ethan Sumners, and another segment here on From the Press Box with Wayne Neely. Ethan, first of all, my friend, always good to be out here at Hillcrest and always good to talk Bobcat golf. Thank you so much for joining us here today, partner.
Thank you for having me.
We are so delighted to catch up. The Bobcats have had a great season. And I got to ask you, it seems like just a couple weeks ago, Coach Phelps was sending me the roster and the calendar, and you guys are already basically done with your regular season. Has the year kind of just flown by for you like it has for me?
Yes, sir. It's went pretty quick, which of course we had a few games that got canceled due to heat, so that took away from the schedule a little bit, but it's been pretty quick, yes, sir.
It has flown by, and you and I were catching up a little bit before we got rolling. This is your first official year with the team, is that
yes,
right?
Sir.
How did that process, I guess, just come about? Because that's not something you usually hear a senior coming out for their first year.
Well, I really just started playing golf about probably a year ago, and then I was talking to Phelps last year. I had him in class, and he wanted me to come out and play, so I came out, enjoy it, and I enjoy it, so I just took off from there.
So he kind of, you kind of recruited yourself. Did you have a sales pitch or anything drawn up to him? Was he an easy sell to get you on the squad?
He just was asking me if I was into it because my brother played golf here, and after that, I just started showing him my scorecards every week when I was playing, and he just kind of wanted me to come out and try it out. So it's been a good experience. I like it.
Let's dive into that. Kind of how has your senior season gone, and kind of give us just a flow of how the year's been for the Bobcats as a whole, maybe.
It's went well. We've had a few rough matches, but we got a pretty good win to lose ratio. We've won quite a few. And of course, yesterday we placed in the district tournament, and we're headed to the region Friday. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, you guys have been playing well. Seems like you guys got off to a really fast start. Yes,
a lot of big wins early. Who are some other guys? It is a team. Obviously, golf is a unique sport because you're individually competing, but also competing as a team. Who are some other guys that have kind of helped carry the load for you guys this year?
Well, Carter Britton, of course, he's been really good this year. Levi Moss, Camden Eubank, they've all three of them have had really good scores. They've done really well. They did well yesterday. So hopefully they continue to do well and get a good placement in this region.
That'd be huge. How does that dynamic work? Where you guys are y'all keeping tabs on each other throughout the round? Are you catching up at the end? And then how are you kind of trying to keep each other in good spirits? Maybe knowing one guy didn't have a great day, but everybody else kind of carried the weight.
Yes, sir. Well, you don't really see many of your teammates during the match unless you're passing them on different fairways, and we kind of communicate back and forth while we're walking by. But we officially get a score from one another just at the end, but we kind of try to indicate whether somebody's doing good or somebody's doing bad when we see each other in passing, and just gotta communicate that away. And if somebody's doing bad, try to boost them up, help them out, give them some tips if you can.
Get the morale up a little bit.
Yes,
One thing
sir.
I like about this squad too, you guys are very tight knit, that it seems like, but also you have a deep squad. And I know Coach puts a lot of emphasis and pride in qualifying and really trying to bolster the squad. How exciting is it for you knowing that you kind of got to go out and earn your keep every week almost?
It's definitely motivating to know that from one week to the next, if you have a bad round, you could drop down or potentially not even get to play in the next match. It's motivating to know that you have to go out and play every round perfect or as close to perfect as you can to get to move on and go to the next one. So it motivates you.
Yeah, I can see that being that big motivating factor. You guys are playing a lot of times out here at Hillcrest, whether it's practice or matches. You got any good Hillcrest? What's the craziest thing you've seen out here on the course thus far this year?
I've seen a couple clubs break out here. I've seen a couple people get angry and snap a club or two, but that's about the craziest thing that I've seen happen so far. So
I've seen some throws more so than I've seen snaps.
Yeah.
Me personally,
Yes,
in my
sir.
years, but the
Yeah,
snap, that takes a lot of force and technique too.
Yes,
right?
sir. It's not easy to break a club, but there's been a few people do it.
Absolutely. We're getting ready to kind of wind things down here. How close are you guys keeping? We're going to talk to some of the ladies coming up a little bit later too. I know at least at UT Southern, they really preach that the team is just one big giant team. Are you guys passing motivation on to the female squad as well?
Yes, sir. We try to get out here as much as we can and play together, even on like non-practice days. We try to come out here and get a quick 9 in, and we just invite whoever on the team, whoever wants to come play. We just send out in the group chat, whoever wants to come play, come join us, and we just try to play and hang out as much as we can as a team outside of, even if it's outside of the sport, just to try to get along and build a good team and have a good season.
Absolutely. Speaking of kind of wrapping up the season, kind of final question here. We've blinked and the years kind of gone by. This show will air on Thursday, so you got another day before your region tournament. Got to go back to Henry Horton. What are some things that you personally and as a team, I guess, are going to want to try and improve on when you get out there for that region on Friday?
It's a very difficult course. They got some very big greens. We did decent the other day. We didn't do I don't think we played to the top of our level. We're actually about to work here on the range in a minute and practice on some putting and stuff, but definitely putting is key over there. Get on the green, get tight, and make a good putt. So that's what we're going to try to work on, focus on for Friday, to knock a few strokes off of our score and see if we can do a little better.
Absolutely. They always tell me drive for show, putt for dough, right?
Yes, sir.
So we hope that that goes well. Ethan, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time, brother. Best of luck on Friday,
Thank
okay?
you.
Ethan Sumner's here, one of the members of your Bobcat Golf Squad. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, more from the press box right here from Hillcrest Country Club. Mallory Carden has joined us. She's a Bobcat senior, member of the Lady Bobcat Squad. You're already giggling. We've made it just barely into the interview.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're going to have some fun here today. Speaking of fun, it's been your senior season.
Yes, sir.
Has that kind of set in and registered that your golf career has kind of just flown by in the blink of an eye?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad, honestly, because, I mean, I'm not continuing in college. It's just for fun right now. But, I mean, you know, next chapter, it'll be fun.
I guess in a way, though, to me at least, that would kind of maybe take the pressure off as you guys come into these final few events. Kind of how has your senior season gone in your mind?
It's gone pretty good. We have a good record. We've only lost 2 matches together, so, I mean, yeah, that's pretty good.
And you're kind of one of the senior leaders, which is crazy to think about. Your 3rd year on the team. Did you ever envision that you'd be, holy smokes, I'm about to graduate and I've kind of got to be the leader of this squad?
I mean, a little bit yes and a little bit no. I never envisioned myself doing golf, but, I mean, being a leader, yeah, a little bit, but. Not for golf.
Yeah, well, let's kind of talk about that. How did your golf career kind of been? How did that kind of originate, I guess?
So my boyfriend plays golf, and I wanted him to like me and be impressed, so I decided to pick up golf during COVID, and I fell in love with it. So yeah.
Now, have the tables turned? Can you take him on a round?
Oh no,
Okay.
no. He's got 3 years on me of practice. So.
Well, never give up, I guess, is the main lesson there. But I love that story. So then now you approach Coach Phelps and kind of get things going. How has your Lady Bobcat career been going? And then we'll kind of get into your senior season.
It's been great. The girls are wonderful. The club is wonderful. I mean, everything about golf is wonderful. So relaxing.
We've enjoyed catching and keeping tabs on you guys from afar, which is why we're so excited to be out here. We talked with Ethan Sumners a little bit earlier, and he said, you know, the district tournament kind of is in the rearview mirror now. Now we're getting ready for the region tournament. Kind of what's your mindset going into what could potentially be your last event as a Lady Bobcat?
Try my best. Put the best effort forward and just have fun, honestly.
I love that mentality. I mean, hey, no need to overthink it, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you overthink it, then everything is going to go downhill.
I love that. We got some folks riding by here. Speaking of, who are some other young ladies on the squad, and how do you kind of stay in touch with them in terms of keeping the team up and keeping morale high?
Well, I mean, all of us are pretty close because there's only 5 of us. But definitely me and Marie Bodily have worked close together because we're 1 and 2. So we're both right there together. So we're always talking at school, talking out here, and always making sure we're on the same page and that we're both confident going into the next thing.
I've seen her out here, shot some photos for you guys earlier in the season. She a lefty, is that right?
Yes, we're both lefties.
Okay, so we got 2 lefties, and I think the guys have a couple as well.
Yes, they do.
As a fellow left-handed golfer, I gotta say, do you get any trash talk, I guess, from your teammates there? I had to be careful to choose my language there.
Not really trash talk, but it's always I didn't know you were a lefty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's how it goes, and we just deal with it and roll on, as we say. So we love the fact that you guys have kind of developed that bond and that leadership. And as we kind of wind down, I asked Ethan this question. Home course here at Hillcrest, you got any good stories through your 3 years? What's your favorite maybe Hillcrest memory thus far?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably, it's not a good one, but it was the first time me and my boyfriend ever came out here and played together, and this was before we were dating, and I was still pretty bad, and I was lining up a shot, and I hit it sideways and hit him instead. We've gotten better since then, but it's like the most memorable.
And there was another date after, so okay, well, it's
going on 2 years.
Like
now.
you said, it was a memorable, if nothing else. Well, we certainly hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Not anymore, and definitely not on Friday. Speaking of Friday, let's talk about region play. Having a couple years of experience under your belt, what does your mindset change at all for postseason? I know we said we're going to go out and just do our best, but anything particular you try and dial in?
Not really. Mostly just ignore everything and just completely hone in on my skills and ability to just play good and have fun as well. I mean, don't let any birds chirping, any other girls trash talking, none of it. Let none of it affect you, and just go out there and do your thing.
Go out there and do your best. Have you had any support from the other members of the student body or folks, kind of cheering you guys on? This is one sport that maybe doesn't get quite as much attention, but is the morale there from the guys as well?
Yeah, it's there from everyone. Like our whole school, they all know now. I mean, we get announcements every day, and people cheer us on, and I mean, they might not understand it, but they're like, good job anyways.
I love it. I love it. Any final thoughts before we get you out of here into Friday's region tournament?
I don't think so. Just wish us all good luck.
Absolutely. Certainly wish the Lady Bobcats best of luck. And Mallory, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll see you real soon, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, more from the press box. We're live here at Hillcrest Country Club. We're back right after this. He is the man, the myth, the legend. He's Bobcat Golf head coach Chris Phelps. Coach,
hi Wade. How are you doing, sir? Doing well, man. Doing well.
I always try and get a laugh out of you, right?
Yeah, you got it right out of the start, man. I got that nickname a while back from some of my colleagues, and yeah, I'm very appreciative of that nickname. I think it's in a positive way, but you never know.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And speaking of a positive, we are so positively excited about another great season of Bobcat and Lady Bobcat golf. You and I
Yes,
more
sir.
than ever have kind of been in contact trying to get the word out this season, so we wanted to make sure we featured you on a segment, and I guess we'll just start right there. How has this year, in your mind, gone for both of our teams?
Well, first off, we appreciate you covering us, and we appreciate all the publicity that you've done for us, and getting our program out there, because we've been building a program strategically now for a few years, and we've had a run of success here the past 5 or 6 years. We want to see that continue to grow. So we first off appreciate you having us on here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you covering us. Yeah, it's been a good season this year, man. We've had 4 or 5 consistent golfers that every week, and we've been able to I think Ethan Sumner's, I was listening in on his conversations. We've had a pretty good win-loss ratio throughout the season. Fortunate this year that we were able to advance both girls and boys from the district tournament to the region tournament. You fell a little short on the getting the hardware, if you will, but we're still super proud of these guys and girls, and look forward to seeing what we can do at the region. So got some tough competition out there. Summertown boys. They've Mr. Cole Campbell over there. He's done pretty good at the state level for the past couple of years. So we're excited about the challenge. I'm super proud of my guys and girls, and looking forward to the competition.
Absolutely, and you bring up an interesting topic when we're talking about team golf in particular. It's interesting that, you could go out and you could win all 7 tournaments, 8 tournaments, however many you play in the regular season, but if you don't show up and play well on that one day,
yes, sir,
it kind of could go awry. So I'm guess from a coaching standpoint, how much constant evaluation are you doing on a week-to-week, match-to-match basis? Do you get too high? Do you get too low? How does that work?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we're I track the team average throughout the season, and we try to look at best fits, and I even look at the pairings. Even personalities come into play into that a little bit. Some people don't particularly like the one spot, so we may, even though scores may be different, as far as qualifying scores, things like that, may play somebody else in the one spot versus the 2 spot. Just based on how I think they'll handle the moment. So yeah, we're constantly evaluating the team, trying to get players in a position so that they can be successful, and so far we're doing a pretty good job. So I'm pleased with the results.
Absolutely. That's one sport that this is always fun to cover, because you're right, the personalities are at play, and it's always kind of a juggling act.
Yes,
and kind of, who are some folks, I guess, I've asked both of our student athletes about to shout out some of their teammates, but who are 1 or 2 individuals, boys or girls, that have kind of broken through to a new level maybe in your mind this year?
I'd say Carter Britton, man. He's done a really good job, had a consistent average throughout the whole season, showed up in the district tournament and played well for us. He's done a good job, but I don't want to just single out one person, because I've got a good group of guys, Levi Moss, Camden Eubank, Kenan Graves, those guys have consistently competed very well throughout the season. And on the girls' side, Marie Bodley has done a great job. Her and Mallory both, they've done a great job all season. So I don't want to leave anybody out, and hope, kind of pushes the envelope there, and they've got a good little competition going. And all the guys have that, friendly, competitive competition where they're pushing each other, but at the same time, they're fighting for spots, but they're helping each other. It's a good team environment. Again, compete individually for the most part. Team score, rallies in at the end, but these guys support each other, and they're a good group. I'm blessed to have the personalities and the people on the team that I do, and I'm honored to be a part of it, to be honest.
Absolutely. Very well said. Also, I'm intrigued to know, and Coach Olson and I, seems like both Giles County and Richland this year, you guys more than ever, the numbers have kind of swelled with your teams, and I'm just curious, can we attribute that to anything in particular? Because that, to me, has been one of the more intriguing storylines, that both teams have had a surge in numbers.
Absolutely. I think you came out one day when we were first kind of kicking off, and we had all the different teams here, and Richland was here as well. And I'm not exactly sure on the numbers for Richland, but Coach Davis Olson has done a great job over there. He's getting people involved in the program. We're doing the same. So it is a good time for Giles County golf. The interest is there. The facilities here at Hillcrest are as in good a shape as they've ever been, so we're very appreciative of them allowing us to use their facilities, and they've been very hospitable towards us. They give us designated practice times, things like that, to be out here, and both programs are doing well. I know, I think 2 guys from Richland, don't want to speak too much on that, not my program, but at least a couple of guys, from Richland have qualified as well. So we're both doing really well. Love to see Giles County golf growing, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Absolutely. As we kind of wind down here, what you make a great point also, how fortunate that we kind of are that Hillcrest is, number one, available, but number
Yes,
two,
sir.
this place is as best it's looked in years and
Absolutely.
years and years, right?
Absolutely. Steve's doing a great job out here, man, and I love being out here, love being a part of it. So.
It is huge. Kind of as we close you out here, region tournament coming up. Do you sense the team kind of turning that intensity meter up just a notch
sure.
as we get ready for Friday?
Yeah, guys are, they're out here actually hitting the ball around right now. So I got a couple of them on the range, a couple of them playing holes. So we're excited about the opportunity to be there in the tournament on Friday. So looking forward to the challenge.
It is going to be a fun one. I got to ask you this. This is just a lot of weird things go on in my brain sometimes.
You're fine.
So bear with me here. In a one-on-one stroke play match between you and the legendary Johnny Phelps, who comes away with the title that day?
I'd say my dad, man. He was a scratch golfer back in the day, man. He didn't play a lot, but when he did, man, he could make some shots that were pretty impressive. I'd get him off the tee box, but he'd get me on the short game for sure.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can set up some sort of skins game
Yes, sir.
and rig up something a little bit later. But that's good to know, good information to have in case I need a scramble partner with Scott Stewart down the road.
Absolutely. And that's a good point. I want to make sure that I say something about that. To be able to take over a program that my dad started and have that, family lineage there, if you will, has been truly an honor. And I'm glad to be able to carry on the legacy there.
Absolutely,
So,
and you're not just blowing smoke when you say it, because back when I was in school 20 plus years ago, it was a very successful program, and we've seen you take it to even newer heights. So that's been fun to watch as an outsider.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that comment.
Absolutely, Coach. Any final thoughts as we get ready? This show will air on Thursday, and we got Friday. We got the big region showdown up at Henry Horton.
Okay. Yeah. No. Just go Bobcats. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Coach Chris
Thank
Phelps,
you. I appreciate
thank you so much for your
Appreciate
time,
you,
brother, and
man.
all the help today and all this season.
Yes,
Chris
sir.
Phelps is the head coach at Giles County High School, and the Bobcats are in region play Friday afternoon at Henry Horton. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, more from the Press Box with Wade Neely.
If you're looking for a new job, let M&M Staffing be your guide. With over 20 years of experience, we know how to connect great people with great opportunities. We work with over 80 companies, so we're sure to find the perfect job for you. Our team is dedicated to helping you succeed, and our high customer satisfaction rate proves it. Ready to get started? Visit us at mnmstaffing.net or give us a call today at 931-347-4255.
Great times, as always, catching up with the Bobcat and Lady Bobcat golf programs. Depending on when you're watching this, Friday they're getting ready for region play. We hope to have an update on the Richland golf programs as well in next week's Pulaski Citizen and on a future edition of From the Press Box. Time to close it out. This will be a very quick version of the Big Finish. I've got the Fearless Forecasters program here, and again, if you missed our open, not a great week for me. I went 8-8 last week. The Notre Dame Ohio State game really kind of went out and thought the Fighting Irish would take care of business. As a Michigan fan, really couldn't win, but really couldn't lose with both of those two teams playing each other, if you know what I mean. Ohio State gets the win. That one burned me, and I had the Clemson game right there in my fingertips, and Florida State wins that one in overtime. That was maybe the best game of the day outside of the Ohio State game versus Notre Dame. So on to this week. A couple of big games for us. Oregon State and Utah kind of kick things off. But in SEC land, the big one that everybody is certainly going to be keeping their eyes on, at least I think amongst us, will be Ole Miss and LSU. Everybody picking LSU to win except for our guest picker this week, Mr. Johnny Phelps. So everybody thinking that the Tigers will take care of business. But we shall see. Georgia goes to Auburn. That game has had its share of drama over the years, but I think Georgia takes care of business there. Alabama goes to Mississippi State. Alabama didn't look great, but I think they bounce back. I think they're slowly finding their rhythm, and with Milroe kind of coming into his own a little bit, this could be a great week for them to really bounce back, put up a big number. Revenge is a dish best served cold. At least that's what that's what UT's hoping for this weekend when South Carolina comes calling. Disastrous game last year. That was the game where obviously Hooker goes out at quarterback. Tennessee's dreams of a national championship and college football playoff bid kind of go by the wayside there. They are really looking to run up a big number on South Carolina this weekend. I think South Carolina keeps it a little close to start, but I would not be surprised if Tennessee thrashes South Carolina by the end of this. If that game is close for some reason, then I think there's a little chance to be somewhat alarmed if you're a Tennessee fan. But if things go according to plan and they win big like I think they will, the ship could be totally righted. Florida is at Kentucky. Missouri is at Vanderbilt this weekend. Texas A&M and Arkansas. I think I heard Texas A&M's quarterback is now out, so everybody is kind of picking Texas A&M and forecasters, but I wouldn't be surprised if that game is a little closer with that injury news coming out. Obviously, Arkansas got a tremendous quarterback. Had a chance to sit down and talk to KJ Jefferson at SEC Media Days this summer, and holy smokes, that is a big, big dude. On to the pros. The Tennessee Titans. Two ways to look at last week. It was a stinker versus the Browns, but you come out of that and you kind of start looking at the numbers. Yeah, the Titans were horrific on offense, but the Browns defense may be one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the entire NFL. So that is a little room for optimism. That's why I'm thinking the Titans bounce back with a win versus the Bengals. Joey B has the Bengals after a nice Monday night victory. Maybe back in the win column, but I think the Titans will bounce back, play well at home. I think Tannehill, if he gets a little protection and time to think back there in the pocket, will have a chance to do some damage. I'm taking the Browns over the Ravens. Ravens are banged up this weekend. I'm also taking the Jaguars, taking the Jaguars over the Falcons. Some folks are divided on that in our forecasters this week, but I think the Jaguars bounce back a little bit. Falcons are very sneaky, though. Could be a good game. And then in our final game, Raiders and Chargers. I think the Chargers turned a little bit of a corner with the win versus the Vikings last week. So, again, make sure you're dropping in your Fearless Forecaster predictions each and every single week as we get ready to close it out. Giles County is on the road at Watertown. Chris Bledsoe and myself will have your play-by-play call there. And then Mark and Jennifer will have a massive call as Richland hosts Collinwood. If Richland can beat Collinwood at home on homecoming and give Collinwood a loss in the region, the Raiders are right back in the thick of things in terms of possibly finishing in the upper half and that playoff berth that goes with it. But most importantly, if they can win that game, now all of a sudden you're maybe thinking, why not finish first or second by the end of this thing? Reminder, if you are looking for play-by-play coverage, Pulaski Citizen Live has got you covered. We're your one-stop shop for both Richland and Giles County. Download the Mixler app and search PCL Richland or PCL GCHS, or visit online PulaskiCitizen.com, click on PCL, and you can find a link to both of our ball games. That is about all the time we've got here. This has been another great edition of From the Press Box. Thank you so much once more to head coach Chris Phelps. Thank you to Ethan Sumners, and thank you to Mallory Carden, all members of the Bobcat Golf Squads. We will see you next week from Citizen Headquarters. I'm Wayne Neely saying so long. Enjoy your weekend, folks. This is From the Press Box.